The game Dreams by Media Molecule, who created and developed Little Big Planet and Tearaway, was announced way back in 2013. Yes, 5 years ago. And The Pour Salt in the Wound, technically it was announced in 2012 when they announced that they were working on two different projects during that time. One being Tearaway, the other one being this Dreams game. And so that's 5 to 6 years of a variety of different trailers and gameplay segments and news tidbits and promises of betas that never came to fruition and delays. All the such has led up to this Game Informer coverage that they've gotten for the game. And from said Game Informer coverage, we'll be looking over a bunch of new details that we got for the game and different things that we've learned throughout the interviews and coverage of the game as a whole during Game Informer's coverage. But will it all pay off on full release? What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, and today we're going to go over and talk about all the new details that we learned about Dreams. And of course, all this info is what I gathered from the Game Informer's 229 rapid fire questions with the co-founder of Media Molecule, Alex Evans. So I will make sure to link it down in the description. But I just brushed through all of the entire video and just took notes on what I thought was interesting to the actual game in terms of info, because they were talking about a lot of just different stuff. They were joking around. There was a lot of just funny questions and just fun questions, you know, that aren't meant to be taken seriously. But the ones that took to the game, I definitely honed in on, and I will bring it to you all right now. So when asked about online multiplayer, he did reveal a few things about said detail about Dreams. It says that it's going to be planned after release and will come, of course, after release, and said that the mode will be 4 players, but it could be 8 for some reasons that he didn't really reveal. But we could have an 8-player multiplayer in Dreams, and they gave no release window on when online multiplayer is coming to Dreams, but they did say, quote, "We can put it out on launch and it'd be bad, or later and be good," unquote. So of course that's what everyone, I believe, hopefully stands for in the sense of in-game development. I would rather have the mode and the game that they're working on be good forever as opposed to bad the first time. That's what I usually go with. After that, he was asked what type of online games can you make with Dreams. So he replied with that you will be able to make online FPS shooters, battle royale games, as well as make any game you create, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, 8-bit games, pinball games too as well. But you cannot make an MMO or a trophy farming game. They were very, very explicit on, like, you know, you're not gonna be able to make this game that has a bunch of trophies that you can just farm with, and you cannot make an MMO for some whatever reason, not sure why, but obviously that'd be kind of hard to make that. But you know, even in terms of just talking about them being able to, you know, say and make a battle royale game, which seems wild to me, which I don't even know, like I just haven't seen any evidence to prove that, you know, that's actually capable in the game. Granted, I'm not a developer, I don't have the game in my hands obviously, so who knows, maybe they're telling the truth. But they did lay down some guidelines and some warnings for those watching of what not to make. So he said, please do not do anything Star Wars, anything Disney, of course for legal reasons, for of course the player, I am assuming, and Media Molecule as a studio. So definitely he was very, very, you know, adamant on do not make anything Star Wars or Disney, please. And then he also said you can also make a Wipeout clone, which is great because I love Wipeout. Wipeout is one of my favorite series from way back in the day. I wish they would keep making them. I wish they would keep, you know, having that IP alive. But shout out to Wipeout, and I will gladly play a Wipeout clone on Dreams if someone makes it, because Lord knows I'm not gonna make it. I suck at those like creator tools in games. I suck at them. So of course a big part of Media Molecule is the ability to play, share, and create. There are 3 kind of tentpoles of all the games that they create, from Little Big Planet to Tearaway to now of course Dreams. And so it was said here in the interview that the type of projects you can make in Dreams, the type of worlds, I guess you could say, or levels you can make in Dreams, are going to be massive. So he said that you can put 100 levels in a map, right, and then 100 maps in a map, and then each with 100 levels. And so someone do the math on that, but that is going to be something like 100. Oh no, I'm sorry, it doesn't stop there. Then you can put 100 of those in a map. So whatever I just said, so you can put 100 levels in a map, 100 maps in each map, each with 100 levels, then 100 of those in a map. So you can make a very, very in-depth game here, a very, very in-depth project you can do in Dreams, which to me is insane. I'm never gonna go where near close, but I would like to see someone in Dreams like make that big of a scale. Like make something that huge, maybe tell a narrative, maybe tell a story-based thing in Dreams that is that long and that engaging and that cool. I think that could be really, really cool. I think that would make like a really, really cool cult classic in the game of like, hey, this guy's story right here is insane. I think that'd be really, really cool to see actually happen in Dreams, and I hope that's what actually ends up happening in Dreams, with the ability to create and make all, you know, these massive different things in the game. I think it could be really cool. They also went on to share a little bit more of details in terms of this new mode called Dream Surfing. So Dream Surfing is where you play 3 stories interwoven in the order that the creators make them and wanted the players to experience these 3 stories in. I believe this is what we saw with the example of the Polar Bear demo a few years back, and I have it on screen here, where we had that cool trailer where all of them looped and, you know, kind of were meshed together in this interwoven story, and they all loop back to the person in the beginning of the trailer. So I think that's what was an example of that mode of Dream Surfing. I think that's what we were looking at here, and I think it's a cool concept. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted to give a little bit more context and more details on the Dream Surfing part of Dreams. They also added a few comments on the different types of equipment and devices you will be able to use in tandem with your PS4 to be able to create different aspects and different things and different levels in Dreams. And so the main one here is that the keyboard is supported. You will be able to use your keyboard, plug it in, and you should be able to use it no problem. But also another thing that they mentioned was that the mice are not supported. They said because the mice, they feel, is a very limiting device. Why use that when you have a controller that has multiple inputs and different things that you can do with the controller as well in tandem with the keyboard? And so I get where they're coming from. So there are going to be no mice in the game. However, PSVR support is at launch, along with the Move Wand as well, for a means of making different levels and different aspects and different things in Dreams. But they did say that the only way to make and share a PSVR enabled level is that you have to have a PSVR and make it within PSVR, which to me, I think that is a obvious. But you know, when you think about it, you could have someone that, you know, let's say they didn't have a PSVR unit, they could just make it, and if they didn't have it and the game let them make a PSVR level without a PSVR, that could be very problematic for those that have PSVR, since the whole level would probably not look right and not look correct. So definitely like how you can only make a PSVR enabled level if you have a PSVR and make it within PSVR. I think that's a great thing that they added to the game as well. With the game that is set to theoretically handle all those different levels within a map and different maps within a big, huge map, all that stuff, obviously performance is something that should be questioned, I believe. And so they went on to talk about the frames per second of the game. So they said that the game runs as fast as it can. If you have a Pro, of course, you'll have a lot more times where it's running at 60 frames per second, but it's all dependent on what you're playing or making. If there's more things in your level, the game will dip in FPS to 30 or even less. And so obviously for you people that have a regular PS4, which of course nothing wrong with you people, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, shout to the OG PS4. I had one for many years, but I now have a Pro, and there's definitely a game difference between the two, obviously. So if you have a Pro, looks like Dreams can run a little bit more better on your system, of course, because it has more power to utilize. But those with the PS4, I think you're going to have a lot more instances where you'll have 30 frames on a given level instead of 60. And it is also noted that, like they said, it is dependent on what you create. So if you have a massive project and you're trying to do it on a base PS4, you might want to limit that, because you will probably run into a lot of frame dipping and stuff like that. And you know what, honestly, for them to even come out and really say it that straightforward and that bluntly, I give kudos to Media Molecule for saying that. You know what I'm saying? For just laying it out, the just complete obvious that, hey, listen here, if you have a Pro, you're going to have a lot more instances and more times where the game will run a lot more smoothly. If you have a base PS4, you're probably going to struggle just a little bit on those big projects that we said that you can make. And so I definitely commend them for just laying that out there for those, and not being so smoke and mirrors about the subject of how the game runs on the PS4 performance wise. In Dreams, you can level up and rank up and all the good stuff. And so you can level up, of course, and earn XP in Dreams, as well as having a persona, which was described as being a feature where you could, quote, search up animators like a level 90 animator, which honestly confused me. I'm not really sure what they were trying to explain here, what the persona was. I guess we're saying that you have a certain status, I guess. And so you know, if you are level 90, you have a level 90 persona, like that is your, you know, sort of rank or status or stature, if you will, in the game. Not sure how that really played into it, but they did say that you earn XP for creating anything in the game. So it could be like building a tree or building another asset in your level. You will earn XP for doing so every time, and so that's how you know, eventually rank up and occur different XP to be able to level up and become a new animator and have a new persona status. I don't really know how that really all works, but you know, bottom line, you can level up in Dreams, and they did say that there is no level cap at the moment for leveling up in Dreams. So who knows if they will ever put a cap on, or it'll just keep ever revolving and you'll just keep, you know, going on throughout the levels. And I assume, you know, as you level up, it gets harder and harder to earn more XP to be able to level up to the next level, or you need more XP to level up as the levels go on. That's what I'm assuming, because that's how usually every game goes. But that could very well be a thing here in Dreams as well. Set aside from the different mode that we talked about in the beginning of this video called Dream Surfing, there will also be a traditional story mode in the game. So Media Molecule will have a story mode campaign for Dreams that tells its own cohesive story for Dreams made by them. And so the story mode will focus and center around this character named Art and his dreams. And so it's described as Media Molecule's take on Psychonauts, you know what I'm saying? So they're saying that like that's kind of the area and kind of the angle that they're going for with this story mode. It said that it's going to be a massive story mode. When questioned about being how long it is, though, they said it's only 2 to 3 hours long. And so he said that that is what they thought was long enough for the story mode. So don't go in expecting a 10-hour long story mode, some in-depth whole thing. It's going to be somewhere around the 6 to 8 hour range, I'm assuming, or honestly, like they said, maybe it could be just 2 to 3 hours and it'd be really, really short. Not sure, but you know, if I get the game, I'll play it, you know what I'm saying? I'll definitely play the story mode. But they also said that the story of Art in the story mode will make you cry. So it will be definitely an emotional story at that. So definitely, you know, really be looking forward to that if I ever get the game. And lastly here, let's talk about the beta. The beta that's been promised for years now, and they said straight up, you know, Mr. Evans over here, the co-founder of Media Molecule, promised that it's coming this year in 2018. They haven't landed on the date yet. Anything that you make in the beta will of course also cross over to the full game. That's what they said as well. So any levels that you make in the beta, any progress that you make in the beta will cross over to the full game when it releases. But my whole thing is that, okay, listen, if you're gonna promise that the beta is coming out in 2018, and they even double down and say that any progress you make in the beta, any levels that you make, anything at all from the beta will, you know, transfer over to the full game when it gets released. When is the beta coming out? Like, we need a date, because you said this, like, we have literally promised a beta, and like we've been promised a beta for so many years and it's been delayed for so many times. It's like unreal. So I just want a beta window or a strict beta date on when it will be, you know, starting, because I want to play this. I've been talking about this for like years now, I feel like, and there's definitely, I have a sense of kind of reservation on this game. I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I just want to see it for myself. I want to play for myself. So hopefully the beta will be out shortly. But then he also said about the cost of the game for the full retail release of Dreams. It said that there is no cost currently, and that it could be 60, could be 40. They said that he didn't know, and it's out of his hands. And so Alex Evans, you know, says that the price of the game is out of his hands, which definitely makes sense because he's just development side and everything like that. So I definitely understand that point. But with that being said, with them not really knowing a set price for the game, what would you personally pay for Dreams? Would you pay $40? Would you pay the full 60? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you guys think, just optically, from all the footage that we've seen, all the info that we've gathered from this game? What would you honestly pay for this game? I'm very curious to hear down in the comments below. And down below, do not just stop there. Let me know what you guys think about any of the info and details that we got from Dreams today. What do you guys think about all these different things about the Dream, the online multiplayer, the massive projects, the Dream surfing, the performance of the game, leveling up, story mode, anything you have? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And make sure also, while you are down there, to check out our description where you can find the Instagram and Twitter to follow us on there. Make sure to also leave a like if you enjoyed it, as well as stay subscribed to PlayStation Source to keep up with latest grades in PlayStation. Thank you for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.